Welcome back to the Jack 3 All Missions tutorial. Today we're going to tackle Act 2, and this will be a long one. And I'm quite cold right now. I'm in my hoodie and stuff. It's a frosty December morning, so hopefully I won't be like rubbing my hands like too much and stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty cold. So hopefully my hands will warm up eventually later. But let's tackle Act 2. So this is where you left off with the precursor robot. One thing you want to make sure with the elevator here is just walk into it and let go of everything, and then just tap triangle in like a rhythm. You can get an extended load screen there if you like punch into it, if you mash a bunch of buttons. That one in particular you want to just do that with. Now there's two ways you can do this. Well, there's not two ways you can get to Samos, there's only one. But yeah, you just want to jetboard to Samos, like so. But there's two ways to get back to the sewers. So now that we get this cutscene, there's a couple ways to get back to the sewers. The fastest way is to hover through the wall. The other way is just to go around. It's pretty, I'll show you the fastest one just because that one's less, like going around, it's just going around. There's nothing else, to it. But this is what the hover looks like. So you want to punch board here, side flip, side flip. Okay, I hit that little ledge there, so I'm going to hit that. But basically, you just want to like go over any of that sort of area up there and then free fall. So I'll try and show that again. So it's right around here. Side flip, and you just start hovering here. And then you want to free fall to the right. I use the mini-map a lot here just to tell with the bridges, like this one, so you don't fall into the water. And there you go. Again, you can also go around, but that's just the way I do that, because that is a little bit faster. Now we tackle Sewers 1. By the way, if you haven't learned how to hover, like if you've gotten this far and you haven't learned how to hover, or like you don't have much jetboard control, you really, really need it for Act 2. These early missions like really require you to jetboard a lot. Like from here on out, there's no like hand holding. Like you need to know how to like side flip, hover, extended front flip. It's all in the Jack 3 Essentials guide. So what we're going to do here is there's actually a visual cue on these doors. A lot of these doors, once they reach that, once the cogs like come together, that's when you pull the jetboard out and you do a double side flip. That's a very nice visual cue. You can either hover this and then free fall into it, or you can hover and then slide up the ramp, although the ramp will make your controls a little weird. And speaking of making your controls weird, so will this tunnel. So what you'll need to do here is just follow my movement. You don't want to jump. You don't want to side flip into the tunnel at all. You want to side flip and then side flip and then just drive into it. And it'll make this easier to control. You'll lose control a little bit here, and then you'll lose a little bit of control here as well, and just make your way across this. Now try to jump to the left side of here so you can get like a little, jump into this part here. The reason we take the route that we do here is because the level just won't load. So that's why we do it. Now there's tons of ways to do this fan skip here. You can either come at it with a ton of speed. Okay, well, it's kind of hard to explain how the fans work, but basically they will be pushing you back in waves. Or they will be pushing you back, but they'll push you back in waves if you spam the circle attack. But you can sometimes be quick enough to approach them, then they blow you back, and then you press circle, and then you fly over them. Sometimes you'll get hit by some of those like little fish that are in the water, and for some reason that destroys a couple of the fans. You can either shoot them with the beam reflexor or the arc wielder. You have a ton of choices here. Now I have a ton of speed here, so what I'm going to do is try to just make it past them. Usually on the left-hand side, but yeah, see? Okay, yeah, so the fans are actually desynced right now, so there's like no way for me to pass. So that's quite unfortunate. That's actually quite rare. But yeah, if you can just make it up like that, yep, see, there you go. And you can just sometimes make it over very easily. If I got hit by that fish, I was trying to get hit by that fish afterwards because sometimes that destroys the fans. And I'm getting a little too ahead of myself here. Let me go back up. I'm just autopiloting here. So for this next bit, at the bottom of the slide, there is a trigger that'll take off the jetboard for you. And what you want to do is you just want to side flip a bunch and start a hover right here to go over it. And then you want to free fall right about here so that you land roughly in this area. You don't have to skip the jetboard trigger. It's just like a minor time save, but it does save a little bit. And then you want to just copy my end movement here. There's not really like much to it. You're just going to have to like practice. So front flip or something, extended front flip here, side flip, and then hover to the end. That wasn't like the cleanest, but it does the job. And then if you're not comfortable with your hover, you don't have to do this corner cut, but you can do a double side flip and then cut the corner with this hover. You can alternatively just go to the middle. I'm going to destroy these enemies real quick. They're really not dead? Maybe it's just because I turned around. Alternatively, you can just do like something like this. And then, you know, not die, but yeah, something like that. Just do it your way. But again, like I said, you will kind of need to, at this point in the game, you'll kind of need to know how to hover. Like, there's not really much getting around it. So I guess I can try and show off again. You know, maybe you could do some like big jump or something that's something like that maybe, you know. But again, the hover is better. It cuts the corner. That's just how you want to do it. And then you just want to ignore these enemies. And then enter the elevator like the same way as you did with the one at the start as well. Okay. And now I just want to head to the Naughty Otzel. You can hover this corner. You can actually hover through the ceiling, but in Jak 2, going through the top of the hip hog is a lot easier than going through the top of the Naughty Otzel. The trigger is way higher on the Naughty Otzel. The hover tends to drop more in Jak 3 as well. I don't really recommend it, so I think you should just go through the front door. Just cut that corner and go through here. Now you want to hold back and a little bit to the left. And then skip the cutscene and then punch board once like you gain control. So it's time for blast bot. And we're gonna just jet board across the water here. Now the way you take out the blast bots quickly is by using the arc wielder. So again, as you're pulling away the jet board here, double tap left on the D-pad so that you buffer the arc wielder out like this. See, so he pulls it out immediately. That's something you can do is once you pull away the jet board, you can buffer those inputs. So you just want to pick one of the legs, shoot at it, and then jump and spin. Do like a really low jump and spin. Like so. And you just destroy him in like 2 or 3 of those. And that's what you're going to want to do for all of them. So ideally, we can catch this guy as he starts moving. Or before it, even. Like that. And then if you do this guy last as well, he should not be moving at all. Now, we're going to do a death ward back to the Naughty Otzel, but the problem is you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it too quick. So yeah, I usually wait for the explosion or something around there. Then you start to hover. And then you fall and die.
Great shooting, Jak. It's nice to have you back.
Yeah, so you'll get the communicator, and that's a good indicator of like knowing that you got it. But if you're on speech volume 0, which I'll probably end up turning off later, I'll just turn it off now. But yeah, there's no way to tell with speech volume 0 whether or not you'll get that. And again, speech volume 0 does save time, so it can help. So yeah, so make sure you don't die too early. I've lost a couple runs from that, just from playing it risky. Okay, so now it's Daxter missile time, and I'll warn you about a couple things, but the first thing is to get to the missile, you'll almost 100% of the time, I don't know why, you'll get a large patrol of guards outside of the hut, and I bump into them all the time with the jet board. So hold back, skip the cutscene, and then walk through the door, and you'll get like a patrol of 4 guards. There they are. They can be coming from the other way too, so like just be wary of that. They're annoying. And you're just going to want to do Daxter missile now. Now, there's something on Daxter missile when you jump called low jumps. Oh, that's a bad frame to pause on. Something called low jumps. And what low jumps are is essentially when you jump in a fixed height. It's always the same every time. You can't like hold the button to jump higher or tap it or something. Like, but you will get like a lower jump sometimes. Well, actually, you can make a little bit of a jump difference, but it's mostly a fixed height. But sometimes your jump, the jump that you think is going to be really big will be like really small, and you can end up jumping into a wall or something. So what I do is this is kind of just if you want to get really good, but I'd get really close to a lot of these walls and then jump late and stuff like that. And I basically have prevention strats in case I get it. So for example, it'd be smart to jump here, but I'm gonna jump a little later because just in case I get, again, jump close to the wall there, just in case I get that low jump, I can make it up onto the ledge as well. So basically covering both options. Again, here, drive close to the wall, then jump. Here, I don't cut the corner as like, nicely as you would normally. But I'm basically just looking out just in case I actually end up getting it, If you play this mission enough, you'll get a low jump eventually. So. Other than that, fairly straightforward, although you can have some trollery happen. You can drive into most zoomers, but sometimes you'll explode if you hit a car, and that can be annoying. There you go. That's the Daxter missile. Get the cutscene and head back with the jetboard. Now we're going to head to Gun Course 1. Now, this one's quite weird. I probably will end up actually taking a deeper look into this, but so Gun Course 1 seemingly is faster if you just spray a bunch. Just don't, obviously not too much because you're gonna run out of ammo, but if you just spray like this, you'll get a bunch of points and you won't lose as many from killing civilians. Every single time I try to do this course properly, I always end up with slower times, so I'm not really sure why. So this is a safe bet, but I probably will revisit this someday and give it a proper effort. Although doing the course properly, I always ended up losing more time, but that was a while ago, so it probably is slower. But it's because you get a load of points by destroying targets quickly is the thing. So for example, shooting a lot of these robots will give me max points. Basically the points will deplete the longer it takes for you to destroy them. So while it's bad to be hitting civilians, it's good that you'll be hitting a lot of targets, if that makes any sense. So again, just make sure you're not shooting too much. Once you get around 9k, around here, 8, 9k, something like that, start heading towards the exit. And just start shooting from far away, like so. Once you hit 10k. Be careful, you can hit a civilian and it'll go back down to 9k and then you exit the door and you fail. So be careful about that. I don't take it as risky as I did just then, but yeah. Now comes one of the most annoying things, is the door that's in front of me. Not the one I'm going through, the door to get out into Haven City will sometimes have a random 10-second delay on it, and it's terrible. The only known way I know to avoid it is to skip the cutscene and just do 2 punches towards the door as quickly as you can. Like so. And you'll usually get it like that. That's... You have to be pretty good with it too. You have to be pretty elaborate, otherwise it won't work. That 10-second delay is terrible, especially at the top level. Losing 10 seconds to that is super annoying. It's way more than you think. Okay, now it's time for the Deadly 4, which is arguably the 4 hardest missions in the game, which is Sniper Cannons, Sewers 2, Dark Eco Tanks, and Dark Plants in a row. It's some of the hardest jetboarding missions. And Sniper Cannons, I will begin by teaching you both of the ways. So I'm going to actually make a save here, just so I can teach you both of them, because the hard strat is hard. So, we're just going to pull out the memory card here so I can reload that save. And once you get this from Torrent, you're just going to want to restart mission immediately. Like so. And I'll teach you the hard strat first, because some people want to learn it. So, the goal with this mission is to destroy 6 or 5 sniper cannons. I think it's 5. But it's for some reason, whenever you... So there's a way to get the camera stuck on the first sniper cannon by leaving the range of the sniper cannon. But you have to do it in a very specific way so that the camera gets stuck. The sniper cannon has to notice you for a certain amount of time but usually it'll cancel. Like once you get close to the sniper cannons, they'll like zoom in on you, right? They'll do a little zoom in on you, and then once you leave, it'll like blink, and then you're back to the normal camera. So we want the sniper cannon to be zooming in on us, and then we leave its radius, but it's still like stuck on us, so we get the camera caught. And when we ride through the rest of the level, it destroys all of the other sniper cannons because we're deloading them, I'm guessing. And you can do that on all the sniper cannons except the second one. Even the first one you can do it on, and I'll get to that. So the strategy is to stand where I'm standing right now and then do a double side flip, like so. Side flip, and then launch jump. You don't have to side flip, but then land a little bit after that red lamp right there, and now you can see I got it stuck. The way you know I got it is if it's just stuck and it didn't blink. So wait for the camera to change, and then ignore this, just keep going. And just use the minimap, and you'll get the third one like right there. So you just keep using the minimap, and you'll get that one. And then now you'll get this one. Again, this is a hard strat. If you can't get it down, just do the normal one. I'll go over that in a bit. Now it's a very, very important thing I have to cover. You can get the first sniper cannon if you hurry from this next one that I'm about to get to the first one. So we'll see if I get it. Oh, I'm stuck in the like sewer right now. So again, yeah, sometimes it's a little hard to control. So probably not. Yeah, I bumped something. So yeah. But if you hurry over to the first sniper cannon, like this way, it'll explode right here. Which you can see in some of my runs. But if not, you just hover up here and then just do it normally. I recommend trying to hover to this button first because it's further away. And then get this punch board here. Hover up to the last one. You'll always have to do the last one normally. This is actually a really cool mission. It's one of the best ones for sure. And again, there's also, I mean, I might as well go over this, but I'll show you a tricky way, since we're going over the hard strats first. I'll show you how to get back to the Naughty Yotsel. Once you finish the mission, you want to wait for the camera to like kind of align itself again, and then you want to bounce on that, and then do a hover over this wall. And now, do you see that? Okay, I dropped it. Hopefully that'll put me in a fine spot, though. Okay. Yeah, I'll show you again. So there's kind of like a black line on the map. It'll disappear, but you'll have to roughly get, like, sort of wage where it is. That's when you want to drop the hover for the free fall. Yeah, and again, this has to be a little bit fast. Again, this is quite a tough hover. This is quite new. But I will try and show it. Make your way over the wall and then just like chill, you know, just do the hover. And then that black line will load in like right now. But just estimate where it is and then just like free fall to the left. And now we're below the level. So that's the gun course, right? That's the gun course door, but that's not where we want to go. You want to keep going under the level, like right here. I like to take a little left turn because you can side flip onto the right, but you can end up jumping back in bounds. So now you just want to like find out where the door is, and then you want to do a little hover and select pause in the air, and it'll load the Naughty Yotsel in like that. And then you talk to Torn and you go on to the next mission. Complicated stuff. It's one of the hardest missions in the game. I don't blame you if you don't want to do it the way I do it. It's the world record strat. So here's the normal strat. I will teach you. I haven't done it in a while, so I apologize in advance if it's bad. Again, yeah, it's been a long time, but I do think I remember the order, and I do remember everything more or less. When you spawn, you just get up here. It's basically just doing it casually, but there are a couple of little optimizations, like this. So again, you want to just do the same corner cut. Just fall down here and do a hover. You don't have to if you struggle hovering. But yeah, just do this. You want to mostly do this with like your, like the guns aren't super useful here, although they will come to play later. But usually all the buttons are in the way, on the way to the like the powers thing, like the power station thing that you're destroying. Okay, now there's a little corner cut here. You can do this, and then you can do a roll jump if you want. And then here's one of the two tricks you can do. You can shoot a gyro buster backwards, like that, and hit it. Now, I kind of shot in a weird angle, but yeah, you can hit it like that. And this is quite tough because the camera's in a really shitty spot. but you can pull out the jet board and punch board up this way and then just like take it slow like that. And then you can do another gyro buster strat here where you shoot it like that. And then there you go. It destroys the generator. And then in order to get back to the Naughty Ottsel, you can either take the zoomer on the right here. In fact, that's probably what I recommend. Again, it's been a while since I've done it, so but I think the distance is definitely worth it. Sorry, I'm just like looking at the snow plow outside. It's quite nice. We don't really get snow in Denmark in early... It's December 2nd when I'm recording this, and you know, we don't really have like snow until... I mean, we get it sometimes, but not this much already this early. So it's quite nice to see a lot of snow. Okay, next mission, Sewers 2. So you're gonna want to grab the cutscene, and you're gonna want to either find a zoomer quickly or get on the jet board. So get on the jet board, and then like hopefully you'll have something driving there. Oh, and this is the ghost zoomer. This is kind of an interesting glitch. Sometimes you'll get this. I kind of want to show you what happens, but I'll show you what happens. This is funny. So there's no driver on the zoomer, and he'll just drive through the wall. Look at this. It's kind of interesting, but you can grab the ghost zoomer actually, and you can use it to drive to the end, or to drive to the next mission. So I'm just gonna try and spawn in another zoomer. There's one right there. But yeah, if you can manage to catch it, I will say, if you jump on the ghost zoomer as it's driving through the wall, like as it's halfway clipped into the wall, it'll kill you instantly. So be very wary of that. It's kind of a weird quirk, but yeah, be wary of that. Okay, so there's 3 ways of getting to Sewers 2. One includes a hover, one includes a wall clip, and one includes going around. So I won't show you going around. It's as simple as just going right around Vin's hut. But I will show you the other 2. So again, going around is just going over there, Vin's hut, and then turn around into the sewer. So the zoomer method is going over here. And the ceiling above me is not solid, so what you can do is you can do a little hop on the zoomer and then jump into the wall like that. And then there's a lot of floor here, so you have a lot of leeway. So you can just kind of do that and stuff. And then the sewer's right here. So yeah, again, tons of leeway with that one. Now the other strat, which is the one I've been doing recently, is I'll show you. It's quite neat, actually. It's a jetboard strat. It includes this launch pad right here. So you're going to want to hold a launch jump as you're coming into it. Like so. And then start a hover at the top. Like that. And then free fall to the left. And then hopefully... Oh. I mean, if you land out of bounds, that'll happen as well. But usually you'll free fall onto the... Man, I'm controlled. You can free fall onto the highway and then fall into the sewers like that. Like that. And then free fall, land on the highway or below it, that works too, and then go into the sewer. That's the one I usually do. All right, Sewers 2. This was a very difficult hover for me back in the day, so it might be tough for you as well. Now, I just want to show you that you can, technically, this is what I do in runs, is, you know, I do this for the hover. I'm just going to drop it because that's not what you should be learning, but I just want to say that that's how insane you can push it. Well, what you want to do is you want to aim. So I think I need to just tell you how the collision works here. So let me just debug mode. So the collision on the Sewers 2 walls is these two are not solid, although you normally don't want to be aiming for them. So this wall is solid right here, but if you go really high up, you can go through it. But this wall is not solid, like up until this point-ish. This is like kind of where it starts becoming non-solid, and you don't want to be aiming too far right because getting this high up. Like this wall is further away, but it's at the same height. So whenever you're lining up this jetboard trick, like this hover, you always want to be aiming for the left. because if you aim for the right up here, you have to get higher up in a quicker amount of time. So it's quite complicated, but yeah, you just want to aim like roughly around here, a little bit left of that pipe in the back there. Side flip and start the hover. You want to go through the ceiling, and then this is actually the perfect direction you want to go in. Like, this is literally like spot on. So I'm going to drop it here and then land in this room. That is exactly where the checkpoint is, where I just landed. This is exactly where, if I die now, that should spawn me right there. Okay, it didn't. But there's a checkpoint. No, no, that's the load trigger. The checkpoint trigger is a little bit further down. My bad. All right, let's just do it my way then. I might hit the wall here. Yeah, see, that's the tricky part with my way. Yeah, sorry, it's just sometimes things are a little bit foggy for me. But yeah, there you go. You can just do that, and then you drop into this room. If you drop into this room, and you like land, and you land like, if you land like down here, you don't want to keep going. You want to walk back and then touch this right here. Die. You want to touch this right here, like this line on the floor. You want to touch this, because the next part of the level won't load unless you touch this. So you want to go back. This is where the checkpoint trigger is. And there's, okay, this is another really rough thing. I need to die because I need to like respawn the enemies so they don't bother me. You want to get on this to get it moving as quickly as possible. Now there's 3 ways of doing this, I'm going to say, that are viable. The first one is just riding it out to the end. This is a very difficult section. The second one is playing a game of balance beam, so you walk on it. Walk on it till the end. And it's tough because the enemies are really, really bothersome. They will be popping up all over the place, but you just want to make sure you have like shots active and stuff like that. I used to do this, but I think this is way better now. So you want to just spray all of your bullets, so it's bouncing all the enemies around, and then balancing on the jetboard along that. I don't know why I'm missing this right now. This isn't usually that bad for me anymore, but this used to be quite bad for me. So just like line the camera up with it and then do this. Don't hover, because the hover will either drop or you'll hit the ceiling. Everything's solid right there. And then make sure you don't extend a front flip at the end, because otherwise you can't turn. The thing with extended front flips is that once you do them, you can't like turn to the side. So you just want to do a regular front flip so you can like turn to the side after that, you know, like this. You can do a little turn after. So the next part is the ambush, and you can skip that just by jetboarding through the barriers. And then you'll get a checkpoint here, so it doesn't really matter if you die. It's right through this barrier. But this is a quite tough part. Again, you can either balance beam it or you can jetboard it. I don't recommend hovering unless you're on like PS3 or PS4 or PS5, because on PS2 this hover tends to drop a lot. So I'll show you what that looks like. So if I try to hover here, okay, yeah, see, it dropped right there, but I got lucky. I made it far enough, but sometimes it'll drop way earlier, and that's because there is a massive loading trigger right here. So again, if I hover here, you see it drops. So you'll either have to land on the beam like this or get lucky or something. So what I usually do is, again, I line the camera up and I just play a game of balance beaming with the jetboard like so. So you just kind of do that. Hopefully you don't get hit. If you do, just, you know, start it up again. And now we come up to the next section, which is, again, requires a couple more hovers. So many ways you can do this ending. I'll start off with this. You want to start off right here and do a punch board onto this ledge and turn into this fence. The top of this fence is not solid. Like, let me show you. So if I hug it, there you go. Top of the fence isn't solid. So you want to go through that. That's the goal. So you want to start at a certain distance away, not too close, not too far. Right here. Do that. And then, yeah, you want to turn into it and then do a little hover. Right? Let me show you that again. Like that. And then ideally, you want to free fall and then do another hover and then clip through the top of the fence here again. And then you can, you know, if you bounce like that, you can just get over like that as well. It doesn't matter much. So yeah, tons of ways. But yeah, that's usually how you want to do it, is do that. And then I'm pretty sure you can also, if you struggle with the second hover, you can just hit that. But mean, if you can do the first one, you can do the second one. Let's be honest. And now this is a very, very tough hover. So again, I'll show you in debug, but this wall up here is not solid. So again, I'll just slowly climb my way up. And then this is not solid. You see that? But the ceiling is solid. So you want to aim for this, pretty much this top brick right here. That's just the part that's not solid. You want to hover through that till the end. So you don't want to hover too fast. Alternatively, I do believe there is a clip through this barrier. I just don't quite recall how to do it. Something with the gun or something. Yeah, another alternative is if you don't like the hover, there is a way to do what's called the Riley strats, which, I mean, I don't know if they're much easier, but it requires doing a triangle turn, and then do a side flip. And since the game usually doesn't, you know, sends you forward in the direction you're going, like if I'm going like this way, I'm gonna side flip, it sends me that way. But if I don't have any momentum to any direction, it sends me upwards. So you can triangle turn, side flip, and then you can go straight up like that, and you can clip through, and you can get out on the other side. Now, on the other side, you can edge your way to the edge of the water. Now, Jack's spazzing out because he's at G-edge. But yeah, if you just fall very slowly down to this part right here, you can hover to the end as well, like so. And then there you go. Oh, didn't expect that. All right, interesting. I did a little bounce on something. Oh, right. It spawned me here because I used the debug camera. But this is how it looks in full succession at the end. You usually want to just like come here. Now, obviously, the platforms can either be in a bunch of different spots. Usually, they'll be in kind of an awkward spot, unless you slow down by a little bit. You can also just do the puzzle room if you don't like the skip. Like, you can just... Yeah, but yeah, you can just hover through like that. And then I'm going to just die because I want to show you what it looks like casually as well. Nice. Yeah, so casually... Again, it's been a long time, but I believe you go around the right. In through the middle. And then through that. And then you just leave like this way, and then you go like that. Although I do think there is a way to skip this door, I just kind of forget how to do it. Another easy setup that you can do is by standing here and then just doing a punch board like this, you can just get like a free hover, basically. Like you don't have to do it at full speed. That's another thing you can do. Sewers 2 is a very, very difficult mission. Again, it's part of the Deadly 4, so that's why it causes a lot of problems for a lot of even top runners and new players too. But there's a lot of little strats that you can do, but there's no getting around it. It is going to be tough. If you want to save a lot of time, you have to do a lot of really difficult strats. Alright, so now it's time for Dark Eco Tanks, and this one is another one of the Deadly 4. This mission requires a ton of on-the-fly thinking and a lot of like good jetboarding and what's known as drive-by hovers. And it is basically using the circle attack from the jetboard, the little wave attack, and sniping these eggs in midair, basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to hover to the first one. Hit it. And now the hard strat, again, you can just hover or like go around this way. I don't think I have to show you that. But the hard strat is to line up a hover right here and hover over this wall. That's a tight hover for sure. And then free fall and then look at the minimap and hopefully land it around here. If you hover straight to the egg, which I used to do back then, you can risk running into the level not loading on you. It's better to just drop here and then go for another drive-by hover right here. Now my game was, or like, I lost control of my jetboard, so I couldn't really do it. But basically, you drive up this thing, you hover, and then you snipe it midair like that. I'm gonna show you the next one, just like you know, basically you just want to look at a world record in order to look at all the good drive-by hovers. Like that's another drive-by hover. I can just fall onto it now, side flip and spin and stuff. But I'm gonna show you what it looks like to actually like climb these towers. So instead of using, the thing is sometimes the bottom one right here will just send you to the top and you can grab the ledge. If you're stuck on the middle one, you can sometimes do a high jump and spin into it. And then if the bottom one is on a bad cycle, holy moly, I was lucky. If the bottom one's on a bad cycle or something like that, you can alternatively, you can red gun up the thing. You can just climb it using the red gun or the little pods. So again, if you're doing a drive-by hover, you'll end up over there. If you're not, I recommend going this way instead, doing a blind jetboard over to this direction, because this is where you want to do the next drive-by. So you want to ramp up that thing, and you can, again, I could easily just hit this and then go over to this next bit. You can look at the world record, like, to figure out how all this stuff works. You can look at a lot of good runs, and you'll see how this looks smoothly. Now, there's tons of ways to get this last one. Again, you can drive-by hover, and you can go over there, and you can ramp off of that thing in the middle of the screen right there, that green ramp. And you can ramp off of that and go to that thing. You can alternatively do a hover from this thing as well. Some people like that as well. And then land right here. Hopefully it doesn't give me a checkpoint on that one. I really don't want it. Ah, it gave me one. But yeah, I just wanted to show that you can also, once you've destroyed that, you can do a direct hover as well. I used to do that back in the day, although I don't think it's super good, since you kind of lose track of where you're going and you have to rely a lot on the minimap. But you can do a direct hover and then hope you land on it, sort of thing. But I'm not a big fan of it anymore, especially because of the drive-by hovers. And then right here, you can, you know, just pull out the jetboard, do a side flip, and then just get to the end. It's very, very, like, difficult mission. Like, I make it look easy, but, like, it's quite tough to get used to the terrain and all that sort of stuff. Now, you can do a hover here to cut the corner and then free fall, or you can just do a hover over the gap. You don't really have to do what I do here, but yeah, make sure you free fall, because I see a lot of people either fall too short or they fall in the goop. This gap right here is way bigger than you think, and I've fallen in here a lot. So just make sure you're looking at where you're going on the map. Okay, dark plants. I'm pretty much just going to show you the fastest route, because there's not really any reason to do another one. It's not like the other ones are easier or something. I also don't remember the other ones, but they're all been relatively the same. So I'm just going to go full speed, full balls. This is just something you'll get better at with memorization. You're just going to have to do this a couple times. Just mission select it, do this a couple times, learn the route, and yeah, stuff like that. So there's only one part that I maybe recommend you don't do that world record does. So don't spam the circle attack too much. I will say that. I'll try and mention where you can do it and where you can't, but the range on the green eco is actually a little bit better than you think. So do this, and then you want to get up there. Like, I probably got that one. Oh, I didn't actually. I'm kind of glad I went back for it. You can circle attack right there, and then you can pretty much circle attack anywhere, and it's because I skipped this one. But I recommend doing a circle here, get this, and then loop back and get that, like that. Because your movement probably won't be good enough to be able to make it all the way up until, so get that. Basically, I keep the first green eco all the way up until here. I barely have enough for these plants right here. So you can grab that little extra one. So that's pretty much the only thing I can recommend. Everything else is just, you turn around there, do this. Circle attack there. I recommend some circle attacks here. Again, a lot of this is muscle memory for me. So it's not like I remember everything, just like, oh, you can circle attack here. I just do it, you know. It's just very subconscious stuff. I've done this a million times. But I'll try my best, obviously, to, like, that jump is quite tricky. Make sure to jump at, like, the edge there. Otherwise, you'll just end up falling down here. So the bridges are fine, by the way. And here you want to do a triangle into a jump. This is like kind of like a little stop cancel thing, like this. So you just triangle and jump. Stay on the jetboard, and then you can just jump down here. And you want to get over here. There's a couple ways to do this ending, but just do what I do, to be honest. Like, you can save, there's like different ways of doing like one patch differently and stuff like that, but it's like really, really small. Okay, now I'm fucking up. I might run out of green now. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, you get that. You get this. And then I have enough. Okay. Missed that one. So you want to clean up this tower here. You want to fall down here. Again, there's tons of ways to do this one. You can either get these first. Then you can get these. And then you can get the last ones. Now, it turns out I missed a couple. And what's annoying is you can't really tell if you missed anything until it's too late. The minimap doesn't show it until like you're at the very end. It's super annoying. Yeah, I missed some of the deep ones, which kind of blows. Now, the thing with the routing this is actually where speech volume 0 saves the most amount of time. Another thing as well is like it may look like I missed some of them, but I don't sometimes. Like the hitbox is quite weird on the eco. But essentially, you have to wait for Samos to say some dialogue, and then you cannot enter the light in the middle of this area. So you'll be stuck like right here. Like you just cannot enter the middle until he stops talking. But if your speech volume's at the 0, you can just touch it immediately, which is why modern routes of this mission, and if anybody wants to try and find a faster one, it's more important to end closer towards the middle. Back in the day, it actually didn't matter how close to the middle you finished because you needed to wait for Samos anyway. But with speech volume 0, that's what you do now. Learning where the exit is just takes, you know, memorization of the forest. Essentially. There's not really a good mini-map that can tell you or whatever. So either punch board or roll jump to the car, and there we're on our way to complete Protect Jinx. And Protect Jinx is just a flat out you know, it's just a protect mission. Oh yeah, Jinx can get stuck on the car. A couple things about this mission. Make sure to keep the camera steady like this. And try and get like a timing right for when Jinx is done. So he's done in a second here. There you go. And then just leave as soon as you can. Got the corners tight. And again, keep the camera steady when you're protecting him, because the more you move the camera, the more enemies you tend to spawn. So just like copy the angles that I get. So just, you know, you won't get many enemies if you just keep the camera steady. Although for some it is quite difficult. So I recommend like leaving him off right here and then turn the car around so it makes it easy for him. And then just keep the camera steady. You can get some spawns to my right, but you just need to kill those off screen. Like just turn and then just like kill them like this. But again, see, I get no enemies because I just kept the camera in a steady position. Saves me ammo, saves me health, saves me everything. Now, this next one is quite annoying because there's a spider that will always it'll always spawn on top of the box where Jinx is, so he'll bother Jinx a lot. So you either need to kill him with the gun or you need to drive over him with the car. Depending on his position, you can sometimes hit him with the car. So, let's see. So, oh, he's not actually there. He was, it was the first guy I saw. Yeah, see, it's annoying. So again, gonna keep the car steady here. Just getting real messed up. Just make sure the car is like close enough to him, but not like super far away, so that he starts getting stuck on it or something. I'm getting really bad like luck with the spawns here. That worked out. And for the last one, it's basically the same thing. Just make sure that the car is like, the car can kind of be a shield as well. So just, you know, drop them off and then just like use it as a protection mechanism. And then just keep the camera steady here. Kill any enemies that are like spawning back to the left. And then kill everything over here. And the mission ends when Jinx jumps in the car. Like so. Sick. Alright, Hijack Eco Vehicle. Now, this is quite a tough mission for beginners as well, and I don't blame you if you don't want to do this strategy. You can just drive to it normally, but I do think you should give it a go. The first thing you want to do is drive up this railing. Very important. For some reason, this just deloads the whole city. It's super big oversight by the devs. Grab the zoomer. Sometimes it'll be a car. If it's a car, you can get another spawn over there in the corner. And then now that the city's deloaded, you have a straight beeline to this vehicle. Now, one thing that a lot of people mess up is that once they jump on the vehicle, they just fall to their death. Because what will happen is you'll jump on the vehicle, you'll drop into the void, but then you have like a half-second window to press R2, maybe a bit less than that, like a third of a second or something like that. Half a second. It's kind of tight, but it's not really all that tight. It's small, but like not tight, like kind of thing. And you just want to hit R2 right as, like, you know, again, I've done it a million times, so just do it right like there. Once you basically hear the sound of you getting on the vehicle, you want to hit R2 once. And then you want to drive through this part of the wall, very important, right here. Otherwise, you'll bump the wall and you'll explode. So on slower consoles, you want to be careful here because you can get extended inputs, which means when you're holding left or right, you'll just sometimes drive into walls. Like, if I hold right and then I let go, sometimes it'll drive right for an extra, like, you know, quarter of a second or something like that. So be very careful in that section. Now, the strategy here is a little bit tough as well. I don't really remember any of the older strats. They're a lot slower, if anything, but just do your best. Maybe take a look at an older run. Maybe like my old 256-22, although I might have done the same thing. But once you get over this ramp and the timer comes up, the game will immediately pull out the blaster mod. So if you're trying to prepare the beam reflexor beforehand, it will always switch to the blaster mod, which is terrible. So once you see the timer come up, press down on the D-pad once, and now we're going to do a couple of like recoil shots. We're just going to recoil these, shoot that, and then shoot this back part of the wall, like right there, and that'll get our first target. Now you want to shoot this pipe right here to bounce it over to this second one, and now everything's smooth sailing. Just those first two are very tough. Shoot this back wall a bit to the left of it. There you go. Shoot the left wall here too. You're good. And then dive down, hit that one. Gotta be a little quick on that one. And then hit this. And then head for the naughty Otzel sign. There you go. And I think it's defend port now. The defend port is quite a boring one. There's a little bit to it, but it is unfortunately a little bit boring. I'll go, I recommend watching this still, just because there are a couple things, you know, to speed up and slow things down. Again, optimal shooting, figure out how to get a constant string of bullets is in the Jak 3 Essentials guide. Always go close to enemies, just so you don't miss too much with your shots, and so you're hitting them with, like, you know, everything. Also, there's kind of like a little bit of a tier list, as in, like, what are good guns to pick up. The blue is only slightly worse than the yellow. So if you accidentally pick it up like that, it's not the worst thing in the world. The arc wielder is always going to be good. You always want that, pretty much. On this screen, basically the only gun you don't want is the wave concussor, but I don't think the wave concussor can spawn here. I don't actually think you can get... I feel like I've gotten an arc wielder before on this screen, but I don't feel like you can get anything else. Maybe you can get gyro buster. I kind of forget. But you don't have to worry about getting any shitty guns on this one. Okay, you can get that. Yeah. Again, it's preference. I feel. I don't feel like one is really worse than the other, but if you've got good spraying with your blaster mod, I feel like it just does more damage, and it's better. I don't know, slightly better. Again, these enemies spawn from the top left, from the bottom, and from the top right, so you know where they're coming from. Oh, there's the needle laser. I forgot about that. Yeah, nice spawn right at the end. Okay, this screen is the most important of the four, because towards the middle, so these civilians will be hiding. Don't ever go into a ring around them. Like, again, we'll use my little, what's this? Oh, I've got a little chicken. I thought it was my Franker Z. Okay, so in this ring, you don't want to stand in here almost ever because you'll get a wave concussor spawn pretty frequently inside of that ring. So stay on the outer side so you don't accidentally pick it up. Now there is a way to quickly get rid of wave concussor. Yeah, so there you go. You want gyro. That's really good. Shoot it in the middle and you'll get a bunch of clear. It'll shoot the civvies, but don't worry, it's not actually hitting them. Oh, nice. Another gyro. It's really nice. Usually you'll get at least a couple of wave concussor spawns on this one. There you go. You see, there it is. So just stay away from the middle because you get those a lot and you really don't want wave concussor. I actually wonder if it could be a decent weapon if you use the new double shot method, although maybe not. I'd actually have to test that. That's actually an interesting theory I haven't thought about. Because there's kind of a double shot method that we've been using lately. I'm getting a lot of gyros. That's really good. And the gyro will also completely melt this end section. Yeah, I wish I got that in a run. Damn. You don't need the skull gems. It's just for show. Now, on this screen, you want to instantly head to the left and start spraying down this guy. This guy will be very, very tanky. And if you get an arc wielder spawn on this one, you want to pick it up to instantly get this guy down. It's very important. No. So once you kill that guy, you just want to like do this and then shoot a bit over here. It doesn't sound like you're hitting anything sometimes, but you are. Make sure you're shooting in a straight line. You are hitting them. But yeah, I'll teach you about like the new wave concussor thing on the next mission because it'll be useful in gun course. I'll teach you how to do it, so you won't be confused as to what I'm talking about. Now, this next blast spot that's going to show up is really squishy, so he'll pretty much die in like a couple seconds like that. Again, if you get an arc wielder early on, try to preserve the ammo for that last guy so you can just kill him in one spin, which saves like an extra second or so. And then it's time for gun course 2. Yep. Okay, so for gun course 2, now I'm not sure. I kind of wanted to show you this before I go into it. I'm not sure if restart mission's going to do anything. We'll see. Okay, it's just okay, it puts me here. So ignore the course for now. I'll go into it in a second, but so when you hold down R1, you'll charge the wave concussor, and the max you can charge is 5. If you jump and spin and hold it, you can see I charged 10, and you can see that there's 2 on it. Now this removes the guys that like spin around. That takes 2 hits, and it removes anybody with a shield. And that saves a lot of time over the course of the whole gun course. So I'll show you exactly, just try to copy the way I do it. I've done this gun course a lot. So do the spin. I'm just going to redo it because I thought usually it pulls out the gun for you whenever you enter. So I wasn't quite ready. I'll just redo it real quick. So I have 10 guns out, or 10 bullets out. Shoot. No. Shoot here. Shoot here. You'll get one guy in the middle here. Punch him. And shoot. Ah, almost. Now you get 2 civvies. Kill this one. Kill this one. Right here. Again, just keep using that trick. Wait for these 2 civvies. Burst it right there. And use it here. You'll get some civvies here. Jump once these like leave. Like that. Charge it up again. And you'll get all of these guys. Stand right here. Once that guy pops up, just hit that. And now just walk all the way over here and just hit it when the civvies disappear. And again here, very quickly. One after another. Civvy disappears. You get 2 real quick right there. Get 1 there. You can see we're almost done. You can get 2 there. Once these civvies disappear, boom. And then normally you'd finish around here. Yeah, like that. Easy. Now, obviously that takes a lot of memorization, but you can save a lot of time if you know how to do it very well. Again, this is the same sort of concept. You just want to punch very quickly to the door and you should get it. Yeah, again, see, I did a slightly unoptimal line and the door just didn't load. Now, I'm not going to sit here and wait, so I'm going to, or maybe I should. I don't know. But yeah, you can get it to load really slow. So yeah, again, the door is really annoying. It's just something you're going to have to deal with. And that's gun course 2, and I think that's the last mission of this first port section. So just hold up as you're skipping this cutscene, and you'll load pretty quickly into the blast spot. Now, not really much to the blast spot. There's no movement tech or anything like that. You just want to make sure you can mash pretty well. You know, just mashing R1 so you don't die. So your lines are good, stuff like that. Make sure you hit some enemies. Yeah, just make sure your lines are good. Make sure you're like heading in the right direction. Like, don't head towards the wall, for example. Like, make sure you're heading like you're aiming at for where you're going. Cut those corners tight. You know, cut the corners tight. Be wary of like where you're actually walking and stuff. So again, my line is to the next corner here. Cut this tight, you know. Although it is a big blast spot, I know, but. Once you start encountering the other blast spots, just spray away at them once they're in range like this. Just spam R1. Now, unfortunately, R1 is the only button that actually like shoots, so you can't like, you know, alternate any buttons or anything like that. This guy can be a bit of a pest. Sometimes he just like blocks you. Almost did for me, yeah. His explosion deals a little bit of damage, be wary of that, but sometimes you just have to take the damage. And again, you can see my line is to the next corner. Slowly heading towards it. Not much to this mission. There's a little bit of a line work, like a line you can take at the end that's optimal. Again, just walk under this. Right here. The blast ball will crouch. Guy can also be annoying. He can block you, which he will here. Yeah. Make sure to don't walk into the very corner here. Walk into the middle because, like, walk into that because that's where the blast ball will automatically walk towards. And there you go. You have completed Act 2, Port 1, basically. All right. Again, this will be a long one, so we're not even halfway done with Act 2. That's just the beginning. It'll be a long video. So just jetboard across. If you can get a quick zoomer, get that one as well, but I usually just jetboard. And don't mash too much because sometimes you end up going back into the carrier. It's funny when that happens. Turn the camera into the wall right here so you can deload the Marauders. You can see there were 2 heading towards me and I deloaded them with the camera work there. And now it's time for Artifacts 2. Oh, baby. Oh, I should just be holding X. Yeah, there's not much to this mission either. It's just good driving and, you know, making sure you know where the next one is. You know, knowing the correct path. Picking your fights, stuff like that. I actually think you can skip this. I'm probably just going to sit here and I'm just going to do it. You don't really have to, to watch it. Again, keep in mind this is one raw recording. I don't really want to go through any editing. I just like to slap this onto YouTube, so if I can avoid doing editing, it would be nice. That's the It's called a snowplow, right? I think so. The thing that like shovels the snow. I think so. It's kind of funny how I'm playing like such a deserty, like hot, warm game. Like Jak 3. The driest part of the game, the desert. And it's just like an icy, frosty morning here in Denmark. 8 a.m. A little tired, you know. Woke up not too long ago. That's a convenient boost. I don't recommend taking too many fights in this one either, to be honest. If you're still watching, it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm sure you'll know yourself, but I don't really take all that many fights in this one. Just the paths that the cars are going at, it's very difficult to like hit them head on. Bit of an annoyance. Around here, the Marauders can get really, really trolly. You can get a lot of really bad spawns. The time's fairly lenient for most of this mission, to be honest. Like, you'll have like 20, 15 seconds left for most of these. Like, look, it took me 4 seconds to drive to this one, but I had 22 seconds. The only one that's not very lenient for some reason is the very last one. I'll try and show you. Once you grab this is the last one. You have 22 seconds on this one for some reason to get back to the garage. It's quite tight actually. Like, see, there's a minor hiccup, and I only have like 6 seconds. Yeah, like 6 seconds. Don't know why that last one's so tight. Okay, so now you don't want to do the leaper trick because now we have the jetboard, and now we want to jetboard through Spargus. The first thing we want to do when we get into Spargus is we're gonna do a hover up to this building. You can do this later as well. I can show you that. You're gonna want to grab these orbs. You don't need 6. You just need 5. But you're just gonna want to punch board off. Go into the secrets menu. Scroll to the very bottom and then a little bit up, and buy turbo jetboard and desert. This will save a little bit of time later, as you'll come to see. But yeah, it's just a little bit of a route change that's happened like as of late. Those orbs are very quick, and yeah, it's quite nice. It just saves a little bit of time later. Okay. Gonna want to get this cutscene and restart warp on the way back down. Again, this is the final time we enter the throne room, so you don't have to think about that anymore. But there are 4 times where you get into the throne room, and there's once where you don't restart. So you'll see what Turbo Jetboard and Desert will do for the route later. Like, it's just something that will be a little bit faster. Also, if you can hit this hover right here, where you go over the top of the garage like this, that's a plus. You don't have to, but then free fall, if you can hit it, trigger the garage door like that. and then Dune Hopper. One thing as well that I didn't cover in my Act 1 video, I can actually maybe make a video about it at the end, like what I missed, like maybe in the end credits. But we've recently kind of figured out, I mean, we do it in hero mode, but we've been starting to do it in all missions for a bunch of different missions, and it actually saves a lot of time. Is going close to the desert door to load in the desert, and then going back to into one of the vehicles saves significant time. Actually, it saves a lot. You can do it on Rescue Wastelanders, you can do it on Destroy Eggs, and you can do it on this mission too. So anytime that like the desert is like you have to load the desert for like a mission or something, it's actually quite useful. And yeah, this is a very, very simple mission. Be careful you don't hit like the back of the vehicles, the ones you're trying to destroy. Sometimes you can like hit, I think, the fire or something, and it can drain half your health bar. There's just like a sweet spot like on the back of the vehicles that will do that. Don't go too close as well. One thing to note about the last one is you can't destroy it unless it's very close to the garage. Also keep your boosts because we're going to use them in a second here. Okay, so the last one's going to spawn like somewhere here. Yeah, just turn the camera around just to spawn him. Don't block him because, again, you can only destroy him when he gets really close to the garage. Drive close to the door to trigger the next mission. Like so. And then, yeah, speech volume 0 really helps here as well because the communicator won't be blocking your view of when you're driving, especially when you're trying to boost. So you kind of want to have one boost going over this hill. I feel like I had more to say about that mission, but it's fairly straightforward. But yeah, just grab the artifact and then just go close to the next to the door. If you're really low, you can stand next to the door, I think, and it'll heal you. Although sometimes, I don't know if you can just stand next to the door and it'll heal you, or if you have to go inside the garage. But yeah, that's an alternative you can do as well. So, yep, you know, just use your boosts. You're not going to need them. Right here. Again, just jump once the boost ends. Jump this. And you're going to want to jump this too. And then this garage door will open on its own, or like this arena door will open on its own. Just drive into it. And this is a pretty brain dead arena overall. You just want to be spamming the beam reflexor. There's not much combat like involvement or anything here. There's one thing to note at the end of the mission, but I won't, or at the end of the fight, but it's pretty small. It is pretty big actually, but it won't be for a while is what I meant to say. So again, do the same thing as Defend Ashland. Just pick up all the blue or all the red ammo. Purple if you somehow don't have that. And once you have a lot of blues, reds and stuff like that, the game will give you a more priority on yellow, you know what I mean? So we got a lot of red there. So now the game will want to give me a lot of yellow. Quite nice. Again, it's still a little bit luck based, but the game is more likely to give you yellow when you're missing it. Like so. So the thing with the end part of this mission is these vehicles that'll come out, the Marauders that you have to chase, they'll come out of the garage very, very slow. If you're in the top half of the arena, I can actually show you. I'm gonna get all the way up to this door and show you exactly what that looks like. So look at Jack. Jack is gonna walk all the way down, and you see it's just taking forever. And then he reaches the middle of the arena, and they start coming out. So when you finish the arena, make sure that you're ending in the bottom half of the arena, close to the car, so that the Marauders will drive out of that immediately. You can actually lose a lot of time if you're near the top. Once the black bars on the top and the bottom disappear, just, you know, restart mission. And now we begin backwards Marauders. This is a strat you don't have to do, but we are talking 35 seconds, so I do think it's worth it. But it can be a little tricky. One thing to note is that these vehicles will drive slower the more you fail the mission. So only after like 2 or 3 fails of this mission, the strat is impossible. It might be 4 or something, but the strat will become impossible the more you, if you fail it. So you're going to need very clean driving. You're going to want to use all your boosts with all your jumps like this. And then you should reach this rock part up here at around 12 seconds. Yeah, like that. So now you want to drive in a very close to the wall, because the thing is, what we're doing right now is we're getting the Marauders in backwards order, and then we're going back to the cave. Saves a load of time. The mission will fail. The mission will fail if you are too far away from the first Marauder. So we can't drive too far right here or too far forward. If I'm too fast, I'll fail. If I'm too slow, I'll fail. If I'm too far right, I'll fail. So you have to stick close to the wall and then do a little tiny hop over this and slow down a little bit and then wait on this dune exactly. Once you see 2 seconds left, you start driving forwards and you shoot this guy. Like this. And shoot him. There you go. Oh, very close. Yeah. See, I got a little bump on him and that just slowed me down just that little hair. And I don't think all the pausing helps either. It's tough to like pause and then show you at the same time as well. The moment I pause, that's when I throw off my timing. But it's okay. I'll show you again. Again, 1 fail, 2 fails. I don't think it matters. I think it's when you get to like 3 or 4. That's when the cars get harder to catch, or like they become slower, which means the cycle won't be the same. Alternatively, it might give me more time. Yeah, see, I reached this at 13, so I just got another second. Yeah, see, okay. It's already impossible then. Or I might have just been a little bit too fast or something like that. But yeah. The moment you fail it is different, so... You know, I'm basically screwed. I can try and slow down, but I won't guarantee that I'll get this. Yeah, I kind of wish I didn't pause, because if I didn't pause, then I probably would have gotten it just fine. Yeah, I'll just not use the 3rd boost. We'll just take it nice and slow. Okay, I'll use it, but I won't do the jump. So again, drive forward and then do that. Yep, see, there you go. Do you want to like kind of like, you know, when you're not letting go of X but you still have speed, that has a technical term, like, I guess just like roll down the hill, like, you know, preserve your speed, but also, so here's the last guy, get his item, try not to crash into the wall. Sometimes you can get fortunate with that guy, he can like move away from the wall. But yeah, you just want to like keep your speed down that slope and then you're good to go. Alright, and it's time for everybody's favorite mission. It's time for Metal-Pedes. And Metal-Pedes is a complicated mission. It's very, very in-depth for sure. And I can try my best to explain it and break it down. So once the map disappears, we restart mission. The Metal-Pedes have 3 attacks. The shot, the quick dive, and the long dive. What you want are the dives. You always want the dives, especially the long dives. That's when they're most vulnerable. The shot is when they're the most tanky and they can hit you and they can knock your car over. It's kind of annoying. It's random which one you get. But if you play it well enough, you shouldn't get more than a 3 cycle on any of them, unless you get like 3 shots and you get super unlucky. So we're going to restart mission and hold R1 immediately. And we're going to see what we get on our first one. So we got a quick dive to the right. That's good. So he's already like 1/3 of his health is gone. So the thing with the Metal-Pedes is that they don't pop up unless you give them room to pop up. There needs to be a certain amount of space between you and the Metal-Pede. Otherwise, he won't come up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep driving forward at a specific pace, not too quick, for him to pop up right there. And again, I'm going to slow down because this next spot is where we want him to pop up. So he can give me just about anything and I know I'll kill him here. Yeah. So that's a 3 cycle. Again, kind of bad animations there, but it does the job. If you don't kill him in those 3, it's kind of rough. You can get back, you can fall down that thing, and then you can like hold L2 and reverse and kill him like that. That's another way of doing it, is force the spawn behind you. Now this room, you always want to drive towards the left to get a spawn on the left, like here. Again, bad animation. Again, you are hoping for a 2 or a 3 cycle here. So I'm going to drive towards this. He's going to spawn right there, and that's a long dive. That's what you want. See, and that instantly kills him. Now, if you don't get a good animation here, you'll kill him right here. He'll pop up right here. Again, make sure to keep distance between you and him so that he pops up. And again, if you don't kill him in 3 cycles, you can force a spawn behind you by doing this. Like so, and then kill him behind you like that with a backwards gun, and then just drive forward again for a 4th cycle, which you sometimes have to do. Okay, now we get into the bit more complicated ones. That was weird. Sometimes you'll just get some weird shit, but now I'm thrown off a little bit, but I'm just going to try and get back on track. The spawn will usually happen in front of me, right here. Like there, yeah. So that's where you want to drive. You just want to drive this way. Drive up this slope. And then if you don't get it there, drive towards this direction. And then turn it sideways like that. Now, I drove a little bit too fast. So obviously I fucked it up. But that's kind of how you want to do it. And again, see, now I can spawn in behind me and then do that. So hopefully I can show that a little bit better. Because basically Metal-Pede 2 and 4 are the same. And 3 and 5 are the same. And 1 is unique. Effectively. I'm getting some really strange pop-ups here. That'll just happen sometimes, but if you drive in the same way every time, you usually can force them to spawn in these set locations, but you'll get some janky shit sometimes. So again, gonna make room for him, and there you go. We're gonna kill him right there. Now, you really want good luck on this last one, because if you get a 2 cycle on the last one, you can just get the artifact and get the fuck out of the cave. So there's a quick dive. If I get a long dive now, then I can just leave. There you go. See? That's perfect. So now the artifact always spawns where he pops up, which will be right in front of me, and then I grab it and I leave. So that was like super fortunate. But just try to like force the Metal-Pedes to spawn in the right position by driving in the right way and by looking in the right way. It's just a lot of trial and error. Also, this music kicks ass. As a bonus. Okay, so this is why Turbo Jetboard saves time now. So the mission's gonna end around the same time as Destroy Eggs, right when the floor transitions right here. And now you're just going to want to mash triangle to skip the cutscene and then jump out of the vehicle. I turned the camera a little bit just so I don't have to get the Marauders. And then, yeah, this is annoying. If you get hit, it's very hard to restart it. But try to just get full speed on Turbo Jetboard and just start hovering so that they won't hit you. But again, it can be a little bit hard. It can also be kind of hard to like keep friction with the ground and stuff. But yeah, just try to get a hover started. Try to go high up in the air so that they won't hit you. But so you have the speed. Basically, the Turbo Jetboard is way quicker than the Gila Stomper, which is why we use that. I missed the free fall, so yeah. Okay, I'm going to ask for you to skip a minute into this because I have nothing to say except there's one part that's quite important. There's a metal head that can block you. So yeah. Also, I still have debug on. That's really funny. Just notice this is called Des Battle. Final boss is called Des Boss too. Just for a little fun fact. But yeah, just, you know, follow where they are on the map. Just destroy them. You will lose... You can't just AFK in this. You will lose time. When enemies hit you and stuff, your car will slow down and it'll bump a little bit and stuff like that. So, I've tried... I usually lose like 10-15 seconds if it happens, so you kind of just need to be paying attention. I think a lot of it has to do with the car will probably also slow down in order to make you like hit the metalheads more accurately, so you actually really do want to be killing them. So it's an auto-scroller, but like not quite. It's not something I've looked into much. I just know that killing the enemies is good. I always destroy these cacti because... why not? It blocks me. Or is it this one that blocks me? No, it's one of them. Okay. Yeah, in about 20 to 30 seconds is the part that you wanna watch. So I'll just be quiet. Stretch. Okay. We're coming up to it. There's gonna be a metalhead after this guy right here. He'll come out right here, and you don't want to kill him right away. This guy. So just shoot him a little bit, and then wait. Now kill him. Because he can fall in front of the... like, you see how he's almost at my vehicle? He can fall in front of the vehicle, and then he can block the car. So you don't want that to happen. That's like one of the only noticeable slowdowns you can get. Also, I feel like headshots are like quicker here. I don't really know if it's true, but I feel like they die quicker if you shoot them in the head. I think it takes exceptionally few shots. Display on for Desert F. But yeah, you can skip to the end. There's not much to it. I have a little bit to say. I have a couple things to say at the end of the mission, but for now, just tap the right arrow key, bro. Just hit it. And this is the last guy. This guy takes a lot more hits for some reason. Take him down as quickly as you can. And now, one thing I find quite weird is I feel like the way the car like spins out. Like, look, I'm all the way over fucking here. It's kind of weird. Sometimes you'll swing into the metalhead. Sometimes you won't. The moment you grab this item, jump out of the car, you gain free roam over it. And then try and despawn the vehicles if you can, you know. Try not to get hit. You know, it will happen anyway. But yeah, turbo jetboard to this is way faster than the car. And then get in the car. Lots of simple missions in the desert, and there's also a pretty simple one coming up right now. But it's cool, and also it teaches you the jetboard and stuff like that. I wonder if... I feel like this is actually a very good mission in order to practice. Like, you know, how to get better at the jetboard. It's just to be spamming this mission. Because it definitely teaches you how to control the jetboard better. Now, to get to Haven Forest, there's two ways of doing it. You can do the same as on Dark Eco Tanks. You can do the hover, or you can just drive it. Like, you can just hover around, but you have a zoomer this time. So you can either just drive around the wall, or you can get off and then do this hover. I do the hover because, you know, I'm fast. I'm the fastest man in the north. So, I do that. But you can just drive around. Doesn't really matter. And now we're back in Haven Forest. This time we need to complete the Pillar Ring challenges. And there's a little trick to this mission. Once we complete these ring challenges, the final ring will be orange. And what you can do is Oh, nice. Got that one. Is you can get close to the second like thing that'll pop out of the ground. So we're gonna turn around and we're gonna hurry over to this next statue. And if you're close enough like that, it'll pop out out of the ground as you're getting the pillar cutscene in the middle of the yeah, as you're getting the pillar cutscene in the middle. You can do that for all of them except for one, except for the last one. It's impossible in the last one. This is one of the harder ones. You get it, and then you just hurry the fuck over here. And then get on this. I think I got it. I was very close. Yep, got it. That one's very hard. I don't blame you if you can't get that one, really. Took me a lot of practice to be able to get that one, like, somewhat right. Yeah, and if you miss, you can just on-foot it. You can pull out the red gun. You can stay on the jetboard. It's all about quick thinking if you miss a ring. Now I know it goes up here. And then it goes left. And then you just hit a triangle here. This is the easiest one to hit. Hit it right there. Loads of leeway on that one. But yeah, pretty straightforward mission. Very fun though. Oh. This one has you just go all the way around. Again, Jak 3 Essentials Guide has everything you need to know about this. Just remember to jump around corners, jump to retain side flips, you know. Just never like touch the ground. Like, don't use friction. Don't keep friction with the ground unless you're turning and you wanna lose speed and stuff, and if you don't have the room. So you can... Oh, shit. I was going to show you what you can do with this, but yeah. You just hit that, you get up this, and just wait here. Right there. And so now that when you come out of this, you just hold L1, do a little side flip here, and do a hover up to the top. And this is the last one. Hit it, and then punch board here. Get between the trees. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I thought it was the first one. I'm a little tired, okay. Bad excuse. I love this part, by the way. Game tells you, like, this is how you do a launch jump. You know? It's like, oh, geez. Didn't know about that. So just try and get to that spot on the ground right there, because this is one of the easiest parts to set up a hover. And, you know, pull out the jetboard and then just try to hover up to the top. You can't get hit by this planet like that. That can happen. But, you know, just try your best. If you don't want to hover, I think it's the third platform maybe. You can do like a... You can do that. Oh, it's the second platform. You can do that and you can get up to the top. If you're better with the gun, just hold up and a little bit to the right and punch board, and that'll be the exit. Okay, now we're gonna do now we need to get to New Haven, and getting to New Haven requires a ton of death warps. You don't have to do any of them technically, but they all really add up. So the first one is quite tough, and this one is pretty time-saving too. So you want to punch board down here, and then use these green things as a ramp, and start hovering here. Get over this wall and just fall right here. You'll die and you'll spawn in front of the Naughty Otzel. This warp will actually put you way further into the level on if you use a mission select or something. I'm not really sure why that's the case, but yeah. If you can't get a good zoomer that's facing the right way, just jetboard along the way. It's more or less the same speed. But I do recommend getting a zoomer because we're going to do a couple more death warps. And we need one for this next one here. So these are the next two death warps we're going to be doing are the hero mode death warps. The one that's done in any % in hero mode. Effectively, you do this. Hold back. And if you can as well, try and get this ammo. Oh, you know, scrape by it and press circle. I got all yellows, which is like super good. That's actually like just what I want. And then you get this. And then this is a kind of a tough one. If you can't... I'm kind of just doing it on autopilot. But yeah, you basically want to drive back, like... I guess I could have shown as well that there's another way of doing the first death warp. Okay, yeah, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Sorry, I'm just on autopilot. So the first death warp, you can extended uppercut through the wall instead of using the zoomer, but I do recommend getting the zoomer. You can also hover through the wall, but again, you'll need like very little speed. Otherwise, you'll bounce off the wall and go backwards. But you can also try and just do an extended uppercut into the wall. For the second one, you just want to get on the zoomer and instantly back up a little bit. Don't hold forward, just back up and then get into the higher hover zone, turn around, and just drive forward and you'll clip through the wall. And now you just want to constantly switch hover zones until you see New Haven right here. Like right there. There is an alternate way of doing this, which I guess I can show. I'll go back and show it, yeah. If you don't want to do this one. If you don't like that one. That one. On slower PS2s, those hover zone switches can also drop sometimes. So it is kind of annoying. So if you know, struggle with that, man, there's so many guards. Not used to seeing this part without the war. But yeah, if you're right here, sometimes a zoomer just... Oh, there's a zoomer. Sometimes it just won't spawn as well. A super low chance, but yeah. If you don't want to do that, you can go through the city normally like this. I feel like there normally is a war here, so... But yeah, you can hover through this part of the roof right here, and then just drop it. And then this is the same spot, and it puts you right here. Like so. Just punch board backwards. And now it's time for Defend HQ. Now, this is a very difficult mission because... It's basically just about using all your ammo very efficiently. And there was a strategy that we used, like I try to come up with, that involves doing Dark Jack freeze and then using all of your red ammo. So I'm going to check how much red ammo I have. I could do that strat and I could show that to you. 83, so that's enough. But this is a very random mission. Like, these guys just fly all over the place and stuff like that. So I just recommend pulling out the beam reflexor and just using it until this thing is dead. So if you want as well, you can do the strat now. So you can just slow down time. You need to make sure you have full light eco. Pull out the triple red right here. And just keep doing this. And it'll die in, yeah, about 6 hits or something like that. You can also do it on this one too. It's weird that it's... Yeah, okay. And then there you go. Yeah, wow, that was actually super fast. In my testing, you can kill those in 4 plasmite shots. I killed them in 5 or 6. But maybe it was 5 because I hit... The beam reflexor shots, like, hit one of the other ones a little bit. But once you die or redo this mission over and over again, you'll get, like, an act tuning thing or, like, a noob mode where, like, the enemy's health will be lower because you're dying more. So if you don't have a lot of red, I don't recommend that strat. I recommend just using, like, just use this gun, but try to, like, snipe them from far away. So, like, you know, do this, for example. Like, a lot of the time they'll fly, like, all the way over here. So you have to, like, do that a couple times, you know? You have to, like, use the needle laser. It's just, but yeah, always start out with the beam reflexor because you'll have enough ammo to take out the first one, guaranteed. So, yeah. Lots of little different strats you can do there. I don't recommend the red strat if you don't have enough light eco or enough red, but it is a possibility. As you see, when you have both, it's quite nice, in fact. Okay, so we're coming up to Sewers 3, and this hover that I'm about to do right now is also pretty irritating on either bad weather or bad PS3s. And by bad weather, I mean, if there's a thunderstorm, which there isn't, thunder in this game and Jack 2 can make you drop your hover. So you can hover over this wall, Or you can drive around. Your choice. But hovering over is a little bit faster. And you get in balance right here. And then here's the door entrance to Sewers 3. Like so. Now Sewers 3, again, a lot of it's just movement, so it's very difficult for me to like teach you any lineups. Stuff like that. But just try to copy my movement. Very important for you to be able to try and analyze how exactly I do it. Just look at how I do it. You know, just... Okay, that was a little bit off, but yeah, almost. Get an extended front flip on that little lip there. You can go through these lasers by pressing circle. Oh, drop the hover. You'll get a checkpoint here. The backup strat, usually, I like to do this. Just go around the side like that. Usually you won't get hit, but yeah. Let me try and show that again. Just do that. You can go through the lasers by pressing circle as well. And just try and maintain full speed through here. You can if you're really good. And then I'm just going to kill these enemies just to show you. But normally you need to hit this button right there to lower this thing, but you don't need that or the cutscene. Pretty much everything right here is not solid. Like this whole wall is not solid. It's actually like ridiculously low down. It's just not solid at all. So I usually just go through up here because it's safer. So as I'm coming through at full speed and stuff, you know, I'm just like, do a little jump, do a little hover, side flip as well. Don't side flip in this thing because you'll like enter a bit of a free fall thing. And then this hovers quite hard. You can actually line it up blindly from all the way up here, turn like this, and then start it. And then you can do it. Like, that would have worked just fine. But if not, you can also do... You can start from here and do it. Want to make sure you're going through the ceiling correctly. And then you can hover to the end. I'm going to die because I want to show you what happens if you miss. I don't know where this is going to put me. It actually might put me all the way back to the other checkpoint. Yeah, it will. That's okay. I can get back there pretty quick. Yeah, see, so I went through the laser by pressing circle there. And see, that's the full speed right there. So, let's say, you know, I'm going for it, la la la, and... So, oops, I missed, right? By the way, it's good to start at a bit of lower speed because it's not solid right here, but it is solid, like, near the lamp. And this wall subsequently. So... Just got to be careful of that. So if you bump the wall, you just want to go through the level normally. There's no way to get over this gate. You have to dive under it. And then just start a hover right here. Like that. And then just do that. And you're good to go. There you go. Now in this cutscene, hold down and to the right. On the right, on the left analog stick. And Jack will walk to the door. Like so. And then once this door opens, now I select paused, so it's going to load in quicker. But once the door is halfway open, do a punch board, like that. And then you're good. It didn't actually load that time, but yeah, that's how you want to do it. If you do it too early, you'll fall into the void. But if you wait a little bit with the door, it's fairly safe. Alright, so you can do 2 side flips here. And you can mash this one pretty hard to get up on the highway. And now it's time for Pac-Man. The way you want to enter Pac-Man is you want to stand right here, and you'll hit the trigger. Now, skip the cutscene by pressing triangle, and then hold down X, and try to copy my exact movement. The thing with Pac-Man is there's a cycle that was discovered in 2015 by Raccoon1337, and we still use it today. But you can only do the cycle with a couple of different spawns, as 2 spawns the popcorn machine can take. And if the popcorn machine doesn't... We just call it the popcorn machine because it spawns those little pellets, you know. But essentially, yeah, it has to spawn in one of 2 places. Otherwise, it won't work. Most of the time, it's better to ignore the popcorn machine. Just let it do its thing. Let it wreak havoc. And then you get it at the end once you've completed the full pattern. So I'll show you what the whole pattern looks like. You're just going to have to copy it. And again... I'll go for something else if... Oh, I'm going to turn off debug mode because you can actually turn around in the Daxter minigame on debug mode, and you can also instantly complete it in debug mode. So just copy what I do. Yeah, so I don't really want debug anymore. So here comes the spawn. That is not one of the good ones, I think. Nope. So again, not worth it to get it up, down. Not worth it to get him. Just ignore him. Let him wreak havoc. Let him do his thing. Down, in, and then out. And then you go in here, and then out. You want to make sure to buffer some of these things, and then you're usually done by here if you get the good luck. The thing is, once you're going against, we'll use our good old chicken here. Once you're going up against one of these lines, you can hold in towards the stage, you know? You can just, you can hold in towards the stage, and it really, really works. Like, I'm holding in right now, and it is already buffering it for me. Yeah, see, so he basically got stuck in the middle, so I got free reign over this, and yeah, easy money. And there you go. So, it's just a lot of trial and error. Make sure you don't, you know, just a lot of trial and error, and just make sure that you leave the popcorn machine alone whenever you think the time is right. A lot of the time, it's better to just let him wreak havoc, because he can either just, like, you know, he'll repeat his same lanes, and he'll also spawn pellets slower than you can. Like, you'll collect them faster than he'll respawn them, so it's a lot better that way. Now, city's quite laggy right now, so this might not work, but there is a little bit of a strat that I found quite recently, where we want to do those same death warps to get to New Haven again. And one of the ways you can do it is get on this rail and turn a little bit to the right by jumping on it, and then get out of bounds like this. That's one way to do it. If not, I can show you the other way. Now, I do have to backtrack all the way. I do want to show you the extended uppercut, just in case you don't want to do it. So the extended uppercut looks like this. Nice guard. Also, yeah, you can see the city's quite laggy with all these lightnings. And, you know, all the lightning is dropping the frame rate significantly. Okay. That should have worked. There we go. Okay. So, if you fail the hover, or don't like it and want to do something else, this way is very easy. So you want to pull out the red gun, stand up here, do an extended uppercut, and just shoot once. You don't even have to shoot, technically. It just makes it easier. Also, be careful with just like punch boarding like that and then falling in. Sometimes you don't reach the checkpoint far enough, although that happened there. I don't think you have to get the ammo again. You just do whatever, right? But yeah, again, I'll show you in more detail now. So back up like that, hold forward, and oh, again, I'm pausing, so I'm throwing off my timing. But yeah, just back up, you know, reverse, and then just switch hover zones, and then drive through the wall. And then try and swap hovers in a semi-good rhythm, then fall to your death. And there you go. Now it's time for War Factory defenses, and this is a very easy mission as what it used to be. This was a pretty hellish mission, but I came up with a very good route that just makes it very, very consistent overall and very fast as well. So we've got this one on lock. So you're gonna start off by doing the Tan Man fucking spin strat, which is stand right here. Hover out of bounds. Fucking spin. You don't want to spin. You just want to free fall, but it's just an inside joke. Then you get here, and then you just wait for the door. Just get around the door, wait for it to open, and jump in. Okay, War Factory defenses. Just follow my route. There's 3 phases. There's 16 little lights. Then I think there's another 16, and then there's like 4 big cannons. The first 16 are easy because they're all on the cannons, so you just shoot them like this, like that, right, left, and then this, and then this. Okay, now the next part, I'm gonna shoot a shot into the ground, kind of, to hit 2 of these. So right there, that'll destroy that one and that one on the right. And now we're gonna get this one. I didn't mean to bump the wall. We're going to get that one. We're going to get this one up on this wall, and this one here. Now we're going to want to get these 3 on screen. Well, there's not these 3, but Well, there's technically 4, but yeah. Just want to shoot right there. Not too high, not too low. Otherwise, you don't get all of them. But I got them all there. And then you want to cannon these. Cannon that one. And then get this. Get that. This. That. And now you want to really pay attention to your minimap. I don't know what causes this, but the cannons open a bit randomly. I think it's dependent on the camera a little bit, but you can see I only have one cannon that's willing to open right now. So that's this one. And then we got one more. So you have to go for this one first. And then get that one. Now, I don't want to wait for that one over there, so I'm going to cut through the middle and get this one, like that. Then get this guy. Oh, I missed. But I paused a bit earlier, so I have another thing. You really don't want to miss if you do this optimally, because you have to wait for another missile. And then there you go. You just want to take the order in the end on which one opens first. It's just not trial and error, but like kind of reactionary. You kind of have to pick your spots with it. Okay, War Factory has 2 ways of doing it, although if you know how to hover, they're both pretty easy. The first one requires just go down the elevator this way. You can actually stand on the outer like rim of this, like the railing. So you're standing like right here, so you don't have to jump over it. And then you can just do this. Okay. Wow, saved it. You can just jetboard through this, hover through the ceiling, and you're at the end. Simple as that. The other strat, now I think the War Factory will be loaded, which it won't normally, but it's pretty much the same concept, is you want to punch over here, gain a bunch of speed, and then start hovering this way. Just hover a little bit, and then start falling into the tube. Now you want to spin when you're near the bottom. Yeah, this part won't be loaded. This will be a void if you do this the first time. And then restart mission once you hear the elevator do that little click sound. And you'll end up at the top. If you take fall damage on this, this restart warp will be slower, so you do want to spin at the bottom. And now, this room eats your side flips all the time, so just do your best. And there you go. That's War Factory. Skips all of it. Very convenient. And now we're at the end of Act 2. Made it to the end. I feel like I wasn't as thorough this time around. Again, let me know in the comments if there's anything I just glossed over too bad. Like, really, I mean it. Don't feel free to leave a comment. Like, there's nothing called a dumb question. Again, I've been playing this game for so many years that trivial things, like things that aren't, like things that are considered difficult or like a weird quirk or as a weird strat or as a hard strat, like, you know, I just kind of forget what's hard anymore and what's easy. Like they're all very different for me. Like what's easy to you might be hard for me, and it's vice versa depending on the strat, depending on the mission and stuff like that. So just leave a comment if there's anything off. If you want to be lazy, by the way, you can just stand under here and take a sip of water. There's not many breaks in this game, so yeah. Make sure you don't spam your beam reflexor too much, because you will run out towards the end. But do make sure things are active and they're out and stuff, and you're picking up the ammo. Pick up everything you can, of course. Nice yellow here. And just get ready to shoot the purple gun once it stops moving like that. There is actually a skip that Wotan has looked into on this mission that saves around a minute if you can skip one of the phases. But it's not very well understood, and it's really hard. Again, you can also do the same thing here. You can just, like, if you want to just be lazy, just do this. Very easy. Oh, you can even dodge these by crawling. Not, like, hard to dodge, you know? So we're gonna get another wave of KG robots here, and then we'll get Dark Makers on the last one. I believe is the first time we actually see Dark Makers in the room. Kind of neat. Like that. There you go. Now, Dark Makers, it's really good to use the blue gun on them. You want to use it fast, though. You want to make sure that the, if you have yellow left over, I mean, just use that. But, thing with the blue, gun is that you can take them down really quick, but you do need to have their shields, like, down pretty quick. How do I say it? The regular Dark Makers have a shield, and the shield takes a really long time to defeat if you use the, like, blue gun on it. But so you want to, like, be spamming it before their shield is out. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. But again, if you have this, just fucking use the yellow. Easy way out. And you only get like 2 waves on the last phase, so. And then that's the end of Act 2. Done. There you go. Again, if you have any problems, any comments, anything that, you know, you want to know, feel free to let me know. And I don't know when I'll do Act 3, but it's definitely going to be the shortest one, so thanks for watching, and see you guys in Act 3. Peace.